Hi everybody and welcome back to the channel. Bob here. Thanks so much for stopping by. So today we are going to be taking a look at the much hyped Q Timex reissue from 1979. A lot of you guys will know already, but this picked up a lot of steam, at least in part due to an online article, followed up by some chit chat across the social media platforms, and it sold out very quickly. I was lucky to get this one. Now, I know there's a lot of talk out there on whether or not these are worth the boosted prices we're finding on the resale market. We will get to that here in a minute, but I want to take the price out of the equation first and talk about the watch. All right, so the watch again is a reissue of the original Q Timex from 1979. I actually saw a post on Instagram with a side-by-side shot of this and the original. It's a pretty faithful reissue. I showed you guys in the unboxing, but Timex has put a little write-up on the background of the watch and the watch box there, which is kind of cool. So a couple of cons I need to talk about right away, and both are QC related, and with this particular watch, so that's not going to be the case for all of them. But one was the bracelet came out of the box a little bent. You can see it's got that curve up there. I straightened it a bit, but with so many small moving parts in the bracelet, I'm a little worried about damaging it. It's totally fine on wrist, so not a huge deal to me. The other issue was there was a pretty good sized scuff on the side of the case. I didn't notice it during the unboxing, not until I was actually editing that video, but a light buff with some Cape Cod cloth and it's fine now, but it's a brand new watch and that is just not what you want to see from a new watch at any price point. Now, if you go to timex.ca and look at the reviews, I noticed someone had an issue with a scratched crystal. Timex responded and is sending that person a new one, so I probably could have done the same, but I think I'll stick to what I have here now. And it gave me an excuse to finally try Cape Cod cloth for the first time, which ended up working really good. I will say I've owned a few watches from Timex and never had a problem, but I just wanted to let you guys know my experience with it so far. So even with the QC issues, I'm actually pretty happy with the watch otherwise. I love that 70s styling from the design of the watch itself down to the bracelet, which just looks awesome to me. You'd think it'd be kind of rattly, but it's not at all. If you haven't tried this style of clasp, it's very easy to adjust. It's just a matter of sticking the tip of a pocket knife or a small flathead screwdriver in this little slot, popping it up, and then you can slide the clasp to fit your wrist. I almost expected it to be a bit of a hair puller, but no problem with that at all. It actually feels really nice on wrist. As far as the case size goes, the case comes in at a width of 38 millimeters. It's kind of a lugless design, but from tip to tip, it's 44.5. The lug opening here is 18 millimeters and the thickness is just over 12 millimeters, including the domed acrylic crystal. I know that acrylic isn't the most scratch resistant, but for some reason there's something about acrylic that I really like. There's a certain warmth to it, and I just love the dial distortion that it gives. Not to mention they're probably using it to stay true to the original. The watch houses a Japanese quartz movement, and the water resist is 50 meters on this one. I'm not sure the exact movement, but somebody I think on Instagram was asking if it was a loud ticker. Timex has some notoriously loud quartz watches, and this one isn't one of them. Some you can easily hear from a night table or a dresser at night, but this one's quite quiet. The dial is a darker matte blue, same as the original. They kept it nice and simple with the Q Timex up top and quartz down at the 6. At 3 is that date. It's a quick set date, but not day, so you have to cycle through the time to adjust the day, which on a quartz watch isn't a big deal once you set it the first time. I like the handset, especially that minute and second hands have that length that reaches right out to the minute markers. The hour hand is basically a Mercedes hand minus the Mercedes symbol there. I'm not sure what that yellow lume they're using, but the lume is actually not too bad. It's pretty bright if it's good and charged up. It's nothing compared to, say, Seiko lume, but it's better than I expected. The bezel is a friction bezel, so no clicks. It's bidirectional. It has a nice smooth feel to turn. I like the second time zone bezels. A lot of my family lives in a different time zone, so I usually have these set to their time. It's an easy enough conversion, but just adds to the fun of wearing a watch like this. The insert is an aluminum insert with the Pepsi colorway. The blue is pretty dark, but it can come to life in the right lighting. The case has that funky retro vibe to the design. It's completely polished other than the two brushed sections on either end. The finish work is decent, pretty much what you'd expect from a watch at this price. Really like that side profile, and while we're looking at this angle, one thing I wasn't aware of until this showed up, but the side of the bezel is a dark blue. It looks the same tone as the blue on the bezel. We have the battery hatch on the case back like you used to see often on quartz watches, so easy access for battery swaps. So let's get this on wrist here for a minute. All right, and here it is. And overall, other than the issue with the scuff on the case, which wasn't very deep or anything, it was easy enough to polish out. But other than that and the little bend in the bracelet, I really like the watch. And guys, I'm not sure the QC thing is all that common with Timex. Up until now, I've had nothing but good experiences with them. So I'm definitely not turned off of the brand or anything for just this one watch. So if we take that away and move past the little QC issues, I really think this is just a fun design and a really fun watch to wear. The price, though, even at retail, I was hesitant to pay. After having it in hand, though, and wearing it for a few days, I'm happy with it and really don't have any regrets. Resale prices is a totally different story, though. What people are asking and getting on eBay is crazy to me. I mean, if you really want it and have the spare cash, go for it. But if I were looking, I'd wait until Timex gets more in stock. It's a cool watch, but I just don't see the value at the $400 to $500 mark that people are asking. I read that Timex will get more in stock in September, so I would definitely wait until then if you can. So that's it, guys. If you have any questions on the watch I forgot to cover, reach out in the comments below. I'll do my best to get back to you. Thanks so much for stopping by, and we'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.